What is up, Fosh, bringing you a new review for a new series that kind of started a couple days ago, and I'm being lazy, as usual with most of these audio reviews, but yeah, anyway. Gonna do Gingitsune, which is, I guess, translates as Silver Fox, I guess, what it translates to, I think. Anyway, the story is kind of simple for me. It's, basically follows a girl named Makoto, who, I guess, has the ability to see, I guess, demons or gods. Because I guess she works at a shrine with her dad. In the beginning, they show, like, I guess she's a little kid, and her mom dies, and I guess the same day as her mom dies, at the funeral, this little girl sees this big spirit, the big fox spirit named GINTAROU, and I guess she is like the 15th person in the family, maybe, I think, to able to see this spirit of GINTAROU. So it's kind of like a little bit of slice of life, a little bit of supernatural, because we have obviously the demon element, and there might be some, I guess, magic involved, but they didn't really explain how she's able to see this spirit. They just, I just assumed that maybe it's the women in the family can only see it. So since when her mom died, like I said, she inherited the, I guess, ability to see the spirits. And we kind of jump, I guess, to the present. A few years later, we should just see, I guess, like little glimpses and flashbacks of GINTAROU with Makoto, kind of growing up with him, and I guess him watching over her and things like that. Then we kind of cut to modern, like the present time, and she's working at the shrine with her dad, and that's pretty much what they do. I guess that's what she does after school. She works at her shrine. And basically GINTAROU is a god of agriculture, so I guess that has something to do with, like, I guess he prays him and you get, the crops and everything, I guess, would be fine. Just things like that. And this spirit is kind of weird. He's kind of lazy. He's humongous compared to Makoto. He's just very tall, and he has a thing for oranges, which they kind of hint towards later on. With I'll get into that later, but yeah, he has this weird love of oranges, and that's like his thing. And she promises him the oranges and everything like that. And yeah, it's pretty weird. And while you have GINTAROU, the lazy spirit, Makoto, on the other hand, is very, I guess, known in the local area, and she's very friendly to everybody, and most people know her name. All the kids know her, and they're like this. And after she's at school, I guess it's kind of weird that it doesn't appear like she has a lot of friends, but we'll see how that develops. But yeah, she's kind of sitting by herself, and these three girls come up to her, and they know she works at a shrine. They automatically assume, well, you can read fortunes, can't you? And she kind of gets pulled into like this little thing here, and the friends go to the shrine. She talks to GINTAROU and asks him, help me figure out their fortune, and I'll give you some oranges. And he's kind of like, well, you shouldn't be using my gifts or your gifts for this purpose, but I'll help you. So they do this little reading, and GINTAROU kind of reads her fortune, and he finds out, oh, she broke up with their boyfriend. They had an argument or something, and she needs to apologize. And there's a little extra added to that she needs to be more humble about certain things with him. But the girl runs off before Makoto can explain the full fortune. And next day, I guess she tells Makoto that you lied and the fortune didn't work, and now my boyfriend hates me even more. And she blames her for it, and it's kind of like, it really wasn't her fault because she didn't listen to the full fortune, so yeah. And then I guess, after Makoto gets back to the shrine, she kind of yells at GINTAROU for screwing it up, not getting the fortune right. And he's just like, well, it's not my fault. You didn't tell her the full fortune. And they kind of get in an argument, and she tells him, you're an idiot, and you get away from me. I don't ever want to see you ever again. So he leaves the shrine for a little bit, and kind of gets lost for a bit in the city, but she kind of is moping around the next day, and she finds this little girl, like two little girls that are crying over a missing cat. And the girl that had the fortune read, I didn't get her name, but she's there kind of trying to console these little kids, and the two of these girls, the Makoto and the other girl, have to kind of get along to help find this missing cat. And Makoto kind of searches around by herself and doesn't realize that, she can ask GINTAROU to help. And she gets back to the shrine, kind of looks for him and can't find him, and she has a little talk with her father, and she kind of asks her dad, like, why do I be the one that can see Gintaro. I mean, kind of, she doesn't like that, but I guess the father kind of explains that makes you special. You should use your talent for that because you're basically a mediator for the demons to communicate with the humans. So it's like you should feel, I guess you should feel maybe special, maybe, you know, you're special for that purpose, and that's why the demons need you. And eventually Gintaro kind of makes up with her, and they find the cat later on because I guess Gintaro has the ability to, I guess, see into the future or something. So he uses like a foxfire, and you can see where the cat's gonna go. So he knew where the cat was gonna be at. So they save it. And I guess the friend from the school kind of gets back up to Makoto and says that, you know, they sort of become friends a little bit, but you can tell there's gonna be a little thing between them probably throughout the whole series because she is in the main cast list. So speaking of the main characters, there are other characters that are actual shrine maidens that go to this school. So, and there are more demons than just Gintaro. We did see a few of them, or they're basically gods. So we saw a few of them. And that was kind of the whole episode. Just kind of a, I guess, a quick rundown of the characters to get you introduced to how Makoto and Gintaro are going to act together. How they kind of really rely on each other, things like that. And a few notes to make. We have Haseko Kanemato as Makoto. You might have heard her last season as Amy from Gargantia or Kotaro-san. She was in both those shows, so you definitely have someone who can do pretty good emotions when they kind of need it. And I'm gonna take a stab to this is probably gonna be a kind of a sad story maybe near the end, because eventually I'm wondering if Makoto gets older and she can't see Gintaro anymore. Just, you know, kind of typical of these type of stories when you have someone with the ability to see demons, and you know, once they get older, they just, you know, they quit seeing that and they lose that ability. And another note to make: the artwork's pretty nice, and you know, the music is very good. And the big mystery I want to know is what happened to Makoto's mom. How did she die? Was it natural causes, or did she, you know, did something happen with one of the spirits or something? They did show at the very end that, or near the end, that the reason why Gintaro likes oranges is because Makoto's mom gave him oranges because he was like a little fox and he was hurt, so she kept care of him and helped him. And like, I guess after he died, he became a god, and maybe he's indebted to the family. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be something as, you know, shocking as Gintaro killed her mom, but who knows? We don't know what happened back in the day. But anyway, that's my Gingitsune review. I think I'm gonna keep this series for the rest of the season with video reviews. It's not a like hardcore action show, but it's gonna be fun. So anyway, talk to you guys next time. See ya.